I really do want to be doing this in 10 years. Like, this is all I wanted to do with my life is make YouTube videos. And so I study all that stuff, and I've studied people who've fallen off and come to
Mhm.
conclusions why, and mapped it out. And I study how I feel and make sure, I never wake up multiple days in a row and just like not want to pop out of bed and go work and things like that. Like, I know. And like, that's like, I have discussions with that with my employees all the time, and like some of my upper level people. Like, I never want to get burnt out. Like, we always got to keep things fresh for me and things like that. And we're very careful what I spend my time doing and things like that. So like mentally I don't go crazy, and like I'm just like loving what I do. Like all that stuff. We're very strategic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been super interesting talking to you. The Your strategic mindset is not part of your videos.
Exactly. I know. And that's what everyone says when they talk to me.
Okay.
And it's not like I'm trying to hide it. It just doesn't have a place in my videos. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like, and I'm very straightforward with literally anything in my videos. Like, because we don't fake things, and so people ask them, just tell them, and things like that. And I think that's what viewers like, when you're just not hiding things. But it's just not entertaining to talk about stuff like this.
Huh. It is to me. We'll see what our
Well,
podcast.
yeah, to you guys, and it
Yeah.
is to me as well. But to like, young teens who just want to watch me drop a meteor on a car, they wouldn't give a fuck.
Can you explain this meteor car thing? Like,
Uh-huh.
I was just watching it. It's very fun.
how do you pull that off? What is you dropping it from a crane? What are we doing here?
Yes. So step one is we had to get my friends away from the cars, which we did not show in the video. But a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is fake. How do you get the keys to the car?" So that was a fluke. I should have because sometimes I try to get right into the video so much that like I omit details that I might think are
Pacing.
boring. But then I'm like, "Oh well, people probably wanted to know that," and it's just a hard line to tiptoe. But the way it went was I was just like, all right, everyone, we're meeting here in this church parking lot. So step one, we have to reach out to the church because we need a place to smash the cars that I don't own, so I don't get doxxed. So we get access to this church parking lot. That's a journey in and of itself to get a pastor to agree to let me destroy cars on his parking lot. And then we pick the date, and they all show up. But I tell these people, the people who aren't in on it, that they're just showing up to spend $10,000 in an hour. That I'm going to give them money and they go spend it. So like they're excited, they come, and then so everyone shows up, them, and then all the other people. We split up into teams. Only one team of four, the cars we're fucking with, don't know about it. Everyone else in the other teams, quote unquote, know. So they pull out, and then they just do a U-turn and come right back and help me smash their cars. And I'm like, I don't know how long we'll have this church, so I need your car keys. So then the people who I had all the people that we are destroying their cars pile into one of my trucks. So and then I was like, oh, right before they left, I got all their car keys. I was like, just in case the church makes me move your cars, I just need your keys. So that's how we got access to the keys, which I wish I would have showed on camera so people wouldn't say it's fake, because like I said, we don't fake stuff.
Mhm.
And then they left, and then the other quote unquote teams that were also spending 10 grand, because like it's not believable for them just to spend 10 grand. So I had to make it look like lots of other people were spending 10 grand, or
Mhm.
like instantly they would have been like, this is too cheap, like something's up. So then the other two people though turned around, but those four went and spent their money. And then while they're doing that, yep, first thing they did, they went left. We called this giant truck that had like 5 or 6 2 to 8,000 pound boulders on it. He pulled in. We called the crane guy. He pulled in. All this stuff was prearranged for a long time, and they were just kind of waiting off in a further parking lot. And we had someone over there just like been like, "Hey, this isn't a scam. Just chill. We're good." And then they pull in, and then we move the cars around, and then put the boulder thing in the place where the crane can grab it, plop it on the car. I am very particular about things to the point where sometimes it's annoying, because like we put it on there, he didn't squish it like I wanted, so then we had to pull it off, beat it with sledgehammers, put it back on. Where I had to like saw off like the frame, because the frame was I envisioned a car with like a U shape and the meteors in the middle. And it was kind of just flat with the meteor in the middle. I
Yeah.
really wasn't happy about it. Which it's just little stuff like that that I think.
But cars have a little more structural integrity than
Exactly.
You
So
wanted. Yeah.
they were having to like constantly lift up. I mean, it's like, and I'm like having to call them. I'm like, because one of the people of the four, so it's complicated. So the four people that were spending the $10,000, two of their cars got squished by meteors. So the other two knew that we're squishing their cars with meteors. But what they didn't know is we were filling their cars with one of them balls and the other one just a bunch of mannequin limbs. So it's like it's very complicated. So one of the one person knew that we were squishing 2 cars in meteors, and the other guy's car were filling his car with balls, and the other guy knew we were filling the other guy's car with limbs and the other 2 people's meteors, but he didn't know about his car getting filled. It's like, it was very hard line to tiptoe. But then I was like, oh, we just need another hour to, like, delay to the ones that knew we were smashing the other 2's car. And I just kept delaying them as we are just fucking around trying to figure out how to get their cars perfectly squished. And then I'm like, yep, we're good. Come on back. And then they came back, and then we took them to the dealership and bought them new cars.
What'd they get?
To be honest, I don't know shit about cars. Well, one of them got a minivan, and then the other one got, I want to say a Porsche. If that's wrong, someone's going to crucify me. Like a really cheap one, though, obviously. I don't want to hype it up.
Right. But he picked a minivan.
Yep. He did. Because
one idea.
He wanted a car that cost $6,942.00, and that's what he got. So he had extra money for insurance and other things like that.
Oh, it must be a little weird having money like all around you. Not you, because you're the one dropping it, but like to the staff and such. Like, oh, there's another video coming. I hope, yeah.
Well, we have
I hope he destroys my roof. Or like,
yeah. I was joking with one of the guys there because he bought a new truck, and his car before he bought it was really terrible. Because I obviously don't like fuck up cars, because I bought like 10 cars in the last year, or 11 or 12, I don't remember, for other people. And so he bought a new truck, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was planning on fucking destroying your other car for a video. And he was like, motherfucker. And he had just bought a new car. I was like, you could have just got that for free. And things like that. So a lot of them know, like, if you have a shit car, you keep it and you just wait. It might take 2, 3, 6, 7 months, but eventually I will get around to destroying it.
I have a truck that I think is really nice, but if I work for you, you'd see me in a Chevette every day.
Exactly. That's what I told one of my guys. He's like, man, I wish I had a turbo car. I was like, dude, if I were you, I would just swap cars with your mom for a year and just wait for me to destroy it.
That's a good plan.
Yeah. I help. Well, none of them do that, but I was joking with them at the Meteor video. It's Jake, the Viking dude. I was like, if you were smart, you would have done that.
Dude, so when your, I'll say, 5-year high school reunion rolls around, are you excited to go back and see everyone, or you want nothing to do with that place?
Well, so I went to a private school, so my class wasn't that big. I mean, literally like 22 people. And to be honest, most of those people work for me. So
okay, that ruins
it's
it.
like
22 people. That's great. Was it just like a big house? Like a large homeschooling operation?
No, like, I mean, I know it seems crazy because public schools have like 300-400 people, but I mean, yeah, it's like, that's how it was.
What was dating like in his class? So 22 people, I'm guessing about 11 of them were girls. That really shrinks the talent pool.
Yeah, I honestly didn't date much until recently. I was just on the grind. I used to joke about, because like, and I'm very more strategic, and I overthink things, but if you spend that amount of time with people, their habits rub off on you, everything rubs off on you, and I really never found someone that was like as driven and like would keep me on track. And I was just like, dude, like, I'm not about to just fall off because I want to fuck around with a girl that's like, average mindset and things like that. So I just didn't.
But you're dating now.
Yep.
Are you with someone, or just, you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, her name's Maddie. And that's why until recently, but she's very smart and helps motivate me and things like that, and like doesn't make me feel bad for working. Like, kind of all, as bad as it sounds, like all the boxes I needed checked. And I was like, all right, cool. This is like, it was worth waiting for and not throwing away my whole
doesn't sound bad. Everyone deserves to have standards and boxes that should be checked.
Yeah, but most people's boxes are like, is she hot? Is like, like not like more deeper stuff. Because again, I want to be more like successful more than anything in life. Like, that's all I want. Is like make a bunch of money, and then before I die, just give it away. Do
you see yourself
like a fun way to live my life?
I had
being a family man at some point, like not putting anything in your mouth or anything, but like, let's say you marry your current girlfriend. Like, you see kids in the future?
I don't know, man. YouTube moves.
Those
so
would be the
fast.
best people to give the money to.
No, I don't. Like, yeah, obviously a few $1 million, but I really like want to make $1 billion before I die, and then just give it away. I feel like that would be the like most fulfilling way to live my life. If
That'd be awesome, man.
That's neat. I find it, you're much different than me in that regard. right? If
Yeah,
I
he's
was on
way
my way to
nicer
a
than-
billion, I'd find myself at 10 million and be like, isn't this enough? You could stop
No.
working. You could just fuck about.
No.
So you're different.
Working's fun though. Like that's what I live for. Is to work.
See,
That's where we're different. Yeah.
yeah. But
No.
yeah, more power to you, man.
No, it's actually fun to talk about these type of stuff because you're more interested than most YouTubers, but a lot of them are just like when I'm like, "Oh, what do you do?" You know, they make excuses like, "Oh, I feel burnt out," or this, that, and I'm like, "Well, what are you putting in place to stop? Well, have you thought of coming up with more ideas so you have more to choose from?" This, that, and most of them just like it goes over the head or they just don't care, and I'm like, okay, like, well then like it's your fault. You're miserable, just so you know, or not even that, but in other instances, but
Yeah,
it's just most people just don't think as much as me, I guess.
that might be true. Yeah. It's interesting to talk to a home run hitter, right? Like, you're not trying to get on base. I haven't heard that the whole time. Like, man, if I could hit a single, wouldn't that be neat? No, that's not your goal. You're trying to hit a homer.
Go big or go home. Like, fuck it. I only got one life. I want to change the world.
Get some.
You already are, man.
Well, yeah, it's hard though. And I'm sure, Woody, you know how it feels. Like no matter how big the numbers get, you still kind of just feel the same.
Yeah. I sometimes think of levels in wealth in like what you can buy and not care, right? Like, there was a time when I realized I could walk into Target and have anything. And that it doesn't sound that huge, right? But there was also a time when it was like, honey, you bought all new towels? Like, why didn't we talk about that first? And then it was like, I really wouldn't give a fuck if she came home with a new flat screen. Like, it's okay. Right? There's nothing at Target that causes a financial disruption in the family. And for other people, that becomes the Apple store, or it could become the car dealership. Like, those are the levels of wealth. And
Dollar General.
Yeah, Dollar General is one of them because in my instance, I go there and buy literally everything.